Those of you who got an invite, welcome to Nerd Prom.
No matter where in the world you are, we're all Nerds International. With the hyphen.
Warning, this podcast is not suitable for men, women, children, pets, neighbors, imaginary friends, any friends, goats, ducks, sheep, farm animals in general. Definitely not your mom. Your dad might laugh and then punch you in the face, leaving actually nobody who really should listen to this. If you're unsure of what you're about to listen to, please turn it off and walk away. You'll be a better person for it. That said, let's get on with the show. Welcome to this special actual play of GarTar, featuring the ICRPG role-playing system. I'll be the confused GM, Murder Hobo, and the players, Tony Fanning Asmodeus as Gil, the porn shark man, and Bliss playing the part of Bertay, the shit-throwing flying monkey. Just like to say a special fuck you to Matt Stark for the no-show. Love you, bro. Pretty much set the standard right out of the gate for what you're about to get into. Seriously, you might just want to turn it off and walk away. All right, here we go. Welcome to GarTar. Let me tell you a story about a world primitive yet futuristic, hedonistic yet virtuous, a world of serene beauty and rampant violence. Creatures big and small will gnaw on you both inside and out. A world where vast deserts will dry the meat off your bones, and lush forests and swamps will drown you on a rainy day. A world forsaken by virtuous gods, and left only to be ruled by the deviant and mischievous. A child's play toy, one moment loved and caressed, the next tossed aside, lonely, cold, and forgotten. This world of chaotic, sensual beauty is known as GarTar. Our tale begins long ago in a galaxy far, far away. Captain's log, stardate 110517. The Doom Globe has taken several hits, and its dilithium crystal meth engines have run out of fuel. Gil, a large shark man with gnashing teeth and large flippers, and his friend Birdie, flying monkey janitor with propensity to throw fecal matter at his foes, have been charged with retrieving the dilithium crystal meth from the planet's surface. When last we left our worthy adventurers, they had crashed onto the planet GarTar, made their way to the nearest town after fending off the Spoogelings, and had just met the locals. Let's see what happens.
Which one would you like to rub your balls in the face of? Whole lot of clothes gone, or leaving slug trails? The redhead or the brunette? The brunette?
She looks to be the closest. Actually, you know, I do like ginger, so we'll go for the ginger. Okay,
so as you approach leaving slug trail, she's got her weapon drawn. She looks at you and she kind of gives you the halt and hesitates a little bit. Her eyes are the first thing that you notice. They're just glazed over in white. And under normal pretenses, you would assume that she has no vision and can't see. You hear a voice in your mind. You feel like you're being scanned, like your intentions are being checked out from in your mind, like your thoughts are being read. And then you hear a voice from in your mind and she this lady speaks up and she's like, "What is it that you want? Why have you come to our village? And is that a penis that you have?" And then you like flying towards her, and she gets the impersonation. She's like, "It's been many days since I have had gigantic wiener smeared in my face." And she just puts her sword away as she sheaths it, and she sticks her face out, and she full on accepts that you're gonna like give her this universal greeting of smearing your balls in her face. And in fact, she's gonna reach under the undercarriage there and give you a bit of a tickle.
If I don't get stopped, I'll finish up.
So you're just gonna start humping her face? All right, leaving slug trails. She's standing there, and like I said, you have the idea that your mind has been invaded, and she's game. A whole lot of clothes gone. Standing over here is moderately aroused by the whole thing, and the two of them just seem to totally go with whatever it is that you're trying to lay down. Leaving slug trails once again as you're working your magic on her. She just keeps saying, "Oh, it's been so long, and then you just finish on your face, and
I'll say as I'm finishing up, "Oh, Gil, remember to use the universal reading."
Okay, so Bertie or Gil, this is what you see. This is the haps. This is what's going on, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you right now, but you're just taken aback by the fact that these women are like just completely accepting of that. Also,
Sweet.
too, you notice
I kick on the tunes, and start walking towards them and shaking my hips.
Okay.
I'm gonna perform a little seductive dance for them with my my magical music box here. Plays the
right.
and the porno music that's playing is "Hey Ladies" by the Beastie Boys.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yep. So I'm gonna try and seduce them.
As Birdie and Leaving Slug Trails are kind of making the funky groove music, you can see that whole lot of clothes gone. She's not looking in your general direction, but her presence starts to invade your mind, and you get the sense that it would be okay for you to perform the same thing. And she kind of gives you that mind thought as well, like, "Oh, I haven't seen a man in so long," and she's like, "I don't care if he's a shark." She gives you the impression that maybe those flippers would feel good on her bare-skinned bottom. You start pumping the music out, and the way you guys go, you're sad.
Well, you meet some naked women in a desert, you gotta have sex with them.
Okay, so
this is how pornos work.
We tried to murder Hobo. That didn't work. Clearly, we had to go the exact opposite direction and try to screw everything.
Yeah, so the impending storm, you guys roll up, and this is cool. I like how this is all coming together. So you've both imparted yourselves upon these women, and without even like having to make a roll or anything, they invite you back to the village. So I'm just going to move you guys. Oops. Oh, fuck. Slug trails.
Sometimes you just gotta know what kind of party it really is.
That's right. Read the room.
Okay.
Just for the record, if the little buddy comes out, he's got a fin too.
Nice work. Leaving Slug Trails approaches you, and she says, "I am the commander-in-chief, the one in charge, the mayor of this city this small village that you have come into, quite literally." And she's sort of stroking the monkey's shoulder and whatnot, and she's like, "I didn't catch your name. Who did you say you are? What business do you have here?" Well,
sorry. Go ahead.
I am Bertie. We come seeking as I start rubbing my balls in her face. We've come seeking dilithium crystal meth.
Quite interesting. The entire village, from a lot of squirt who's up here. She's got her bow and arrow trained upon you. In the back, you have this woman here. She also lets out a weird and strange sort of sound, and gives head. You can see that she's got a bunch of heads on her sticks. Icy Creamy over here gasps as well, and for a second almost drops her ice cream on the ground. This woman walks over. She's come out of this building in the back with these two, and Daisy Soft Lips and Wet Vag So Tight roll over, and they're like, "Dilithium crystal meth? Say it isn't so. Leaving Slug Trails, these boys could be the answer that we've been waiting for." And then we're going to go to Gil.
Name's Gilbert Finkelstein, future porn star. You ladies look like you could use my hands in your village here, but we are looking for those crystals, and we're willing to trade for them. And I wiggle my dick.
So all of the women just are like, they're slowly getting closer and closer, and whole lot of clothes gone. She looks at you. She's like, "Oh, what do you mean, future porn star? There, big boy. You did quite well out there in the barren wastelands." And she's kind of saddling up, and you notice that the other women are kind of getting a little choked. They're like, "We ain't seen a man." Or Daisy Soft Lips walks up. She's like, she gives you the big like, "We ain't seen a man around here." Wait a second, that sounds like too manly. "We haven't seen a man around here in weeks. Don't be such a hog, Halada." And Wet Vag just like, "Yeah, Levens, make sure you save some for the rest of us." So she saddles up close and she says to you, she says, "Listen, Bertie and Gil, it's been a real pleasure meeting the two of you, but as you can tell, Hoville has come into some dire circumstances. These long, slippery octopus-like tentacles came in the middle of the night and stole all of the men, dragged them into the desert, and we haven't seen them for weeks. None of them have come back. The only thing that we know right now is that they were hauled off into the desert to the south." And she says, "But I do happen to know that there is a temple there along the way. Perhaps you could wander off into the desert." After some rest, of course. And all of the rest of the girls are like, "Oh, rest, yes, ooh." And Wet Vag pipes up. She's like, "That's exactly right." Oh, Icy Creamy and Gibbs Head get closer. They're like, "Yeah, they need some rest. It's exactly what they need." So they're just getting closer and closer. And yeah, as they're getting closer and stuff like that, I mean, everything seems above board. You're not like intimidated or afraid or any of that stuff. Leaving Slug Trails, the mayor of the town, and Daisy Softlips, she also pipes in, and she's like, "We haven't had male companion around here so long, or in some time, so perhaps I could offer you maybe a room for the night." And then she just, without looking at you, here's the other thing too I should have mentioned. All of the women all have these milky white eyes. It's very unusual, and they never look directly at you, even though they have no problems recognizing where you are. Leaving Slug Trails, the mayor of the town, she's like, basically tells you that you guys can spend the night. If you're not interested in female companionship, I suggest you lock your door. And if you are interested in female companionship, you could pretty much have pick of the lot. She's already mentioned that the men of the village have been taken off by some strange monster, all of them dragged off into the night, and these extremely hot, and extremely sexual women have been left alone to their own wiles for the last couple of weeks. It's been some time since they've seen a man around.
I want to spend the entire night convincing as many of them as I can to come with us.
To the...
because I think they have a career in the business.
Do you mean like come with you on the ship back to the Dim Globe?
Yep.
Okay, so
they have a future in a future career in the business with me. I'm going into business for myself.
Cool. Let's see.
Explain to them what we would do.
Okay. Wet Vag pops up and she's like, "Hey boys, would you like a drink?" And you notice that these ponds that are in the back here, like this whole area as you come in here smells, I want to say yeasty, but it smells like beer. You don't know why. And even this lake back here, when you come up and look at it, it's beer. This lake beer, the river's beer. It's almost like water is non-existent around here. And then Wet Vag pops up and she's like, "Boys, why don't you come down to the hoedown and get yourself a drink?" She invites you to the local bar. I'm going to say that's this building over here.
Okay.
She's like, "Come with me and we'll come into the bar." Through the bars of this place is called the Hoedown. The waitress comes up and she's like, "Hi, I'm waitress. And welcome to the Hoedown Inn. Can I get you all a drink?" She comes up, Gil, and she sort of holds the tray off to one side and just reaches down and cups you by the balls and gives you that look like, "I'm available anytime for your pleasure." Oh, Matt Stark. Finally, Matt Stark.
You know what's best? I love the carpet pattern choice that you have here.
She looks up at you and not quite knowing who said that, Birdie or Gil?
That's Birdie.
That was Birdie.
She walks over after cupping Gil's balls, and she looks Bertie right in the eyes, and she's like, "You do know that the carpets match the drapes. Hee hee hee. Can I get you all something to drink?" And then she's going to wander off to the bar after getting your deal. So a whole lot of clothes gone is basically walking around, and she's telling everybody in the bar that they found a couple of men wandering through the outskirts of town. This big torrential storm is happening out, this dust storm, and this woman walks up and she's like, "Yo, my name's Foot Lost and Ass. I ain't lost my foot in a long time, but look, it's gone." And you notice that she actually is missing a foot.
Yes.
Yeah,
she's a bigger girl.
It's lost in an ass somewhere.
She's a bigger girl, and she's like, what are y'all doing in town here? She's kind of intimidating. She's very muscular, almost like a chick on steroids, and you would almost think that, if she didn't have such gigantic boobs, you would almost think that she was like a dude. And she's like, what are you all doing in town? And she looks over, and of course, Bertie gets to answer first. Here's my dice.
We're here seeking dilithium crystal meth.
Dilithium crystal meth? Well, I know all about that. She says, "Why don't you come over here and have a drink with good old Foot Lost, and I'll tell you all about it." And she makes her way over to this table. Bertie, it's your turn. Are you going to come over? Or are you going to go maybe like ignore her? Or she points to this table, and she's kind of waving you over. And she's like a transvestite man dude kind of looking thing. Perfect. You're sitting in that chair? I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you take up position with her at the bar. And Gil, what are you doing?
Yeah, I'm not gonna follow her. I'm gonna saunter over to the bar and order some suds.
Okay, so the waitress is gonna grab you guys a couple of drinks. So her and Blue Helga are talking. She's leaning across the bar. She's got the bottom half of her ass crack hanging out, giving you that look like if you wanted to just hop on board there, that she could find a room in a heartbeat.
Well, I have actually, when I sauntered up, I see Icy Creamy there. She's kind of leaning on the bar. I walk up, put one arm around her, and I kind of look at my other arm like there's room here for somebody else.
Icy Cream, as you approach her, has she's been dribbling ice cream down her back and along her ass. It's been streaking down, and she's really like every woman in this bar is doing whatever it is that they can. Rotation value 1 in 1 round. The Dark Queen will arrive in this deal. So, Foot Lost and Ass says to Birdie, she's like, "Listen, I happens to know all about this dilithium crystal meth. Word has it, years ago, and I've been here for years, that there's a temple, this temple of Anagir, far, far off to the south," she says. And word has it that there was this strange crystal-like powder substance that was found in there. Drove all of the people inside this temple. Drove them all crazy mad. But I'm assuming that that's the stuff that you're looking for. It's like a crystallized kind of super-powered drug, she says.
Kind of like a bluish color.
Absolutely, that's exactly right. She says, "I could draw
May
you
have
on."
come from the legendary trailer parks of the Midwest.
She says, "You know about those too? Wow, I thought you were new to this planet. I thought you were a stranger."
Oh, the origination of dilithium crystal meth. It's pretty similar wherever it crops up.
Oh, well, ain't that something?
Usually the miners wear gas masks.
Ain't that something? She says. I tell you what. She's like, you, and she kind of looks over and just sort of leans in your ear. She's like, "You put it in me, and I'll take you right to the temple and put you in it." And she gives you this big wink. Like, she's very, very sexually aggressive. But this one, unlike the other one, is very manly. Yeah, I was just kind of hoping you'd ask her why she lost her foot, but I don't want to, like, sort of force or put anything.
You know what? I tell you what, if you tell me how you lost your foot, I'll see if I can get Gil, and maybe we can shish kebab you.
Okay,
or spit roast you.
She's like, I was having some sexy time with my husband when this long tendril came into the window, and my husband puckered up, and I had my foot in his ass, and this tendril started dragging him out the window. I thought I was going to get dragged off into the desert, so luckily I grabbed his sword and I chopped my foot off, and my foot's lost in his ass. Anyways, okay. Yeah, that's some pure stupidity going on there. Gil.
Yeah. All right. Gil, yeah, go.
the waitress is going to serve you some drinks. Oh, I didn't increase Blue Helga in the back here. Blue Helga.
I will glance over my shoulder, make sure Bertie's got everything under control over there. As long as he's good, I'm good. So I stay over here with these ladies and enjoy their company. And I will gladly get frisky with anyone willing.
Okay, coolness. Okay, so yeah, there really is no need to make a roll for any of that stuff. From the back of this room, this woman walks out, and as soon as she does, sort of everybody just kind of scatters back into the corners, like cockroaches when you turn the light off. They all kind of just sort of make way, and this woman walks out. She's very, very commanding, and she looks around and she's like, "Silence!" And everybody just kind of like takes off and disappears into the darkness. And as she approaches, because she's the conflict die, she's like, "No one leaves." And a whole lot of clothes gone, and Wanda, they cover the door to make sure that you can't get out. She points at Bertie and she points at Gil, and she's like, "You two, do you understand the dire straits that have befallen the small village that I rule here? Without men, we cannot procreate. So, you will not go anywhere until you have inseminated at least 3 women each."
Darn?
I didn't really quite know what to make it, so we're going to go roll and rotation. We just want it to roll. Right, in 2 rounds, some shit's going to hit the fan, but I don't even know what it is at this point because there is no conflict. You guys are like totally willing to use by these people. So she says to you, she says, "Right."
Death by snoo.
Yeah. She looks at you and she looks at the two. She's like, "Start now!" She screams. She points at Bertie. She's like, "You." And then she points at Foot Lost and has a whole lot of clothes gone and Wanda. She's like, "Inseminate these 3 women immediately." And then she points at Gil. She's like, "You, 3 at the bar. Start with Hurtback Archer. She's already in position."
Just 3? Okay. You sure you don't want more?
I mean, you may not know this, but my species, we are prolific in being able to repopulate.
I don't even want to put any kind of a challenge on this. I'm just going to say that you guys do it, and we're just going to carry on to the next morning. All right, so you guys start pumping away on these broads, and everything's good. The Dark Queen, she kind of goes back to her corner. You inseminate the 3 ladies, and you wake up in the bar the next morning, and all the women that were in the bar the previous night have all left, and you guys are like just alone in the bar except for Foot Lost and Ass. And the Dark Queen comes in and she just claps her hands a couple of times, and you guys like, "Whoa, huh? What's going on?" You stand up to attention, and she's like, "Very."
I'll come over and start rubbing my genitals in her face.
The Dark Queen once again is very accepting, and Foot Lost and Ass, she's like, "Hey, what about me?" And she approaches the Shark Man. She's like, "Nothing like a good moan in peace." And then she kicks her one missing foot high up in the air and exposes herself for you to just come along and penetrate. She's like, "We can hump and talk at the same time, right, Gil? Ain't had me no Shark Man yet."
Sounds good. On you.
So after you squeeze your crotch off into the Dark Queen's face, she hands you a map. "Listen, I have spent the night researching in the library, and I have acquired a map to the Temple of the Anagav. Seeing as how you did such a good job inseminating my flock, I will give you this map, and you can be on your way. Your services are no longer required here. But if you do happen to survive the Temple of the Anagav, do return to make sure that your seed has taken purchase."
Don't worry, we'll plow till we hit the back of their teeth if we need to.
Basically, she's like, "Stop by for a booty call on your way back to wherever it is once you've successfully accomplished your mission." That's kind of what she says to you. So,
Okay. Sure. I think I'm gonna move here when we get back.
you're not going back to the spaceship, are you? Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Captain's lost. Crewman lost due to booty call. On planet. Permanent booty call.
Yeah, well, here we go. So you guys are going to start making your way to the south, I'm assuming. You spend hours following this map. Yeah, you arrive at the Temple of Anagav, and I mean, it's kind of hard for me to, and I should explain what it looks like. There's a couple of trees out front. There's trails that lead into this front temple door. Now, they look like the sand has been sort of parted, and there's been a fight, and something has been dragged unwillingly into the interior of the temple. You guys are standing outside of this temple. Oh, we're going to set the difficulty of this map to, well, it can stay at a 12, and in 2 rounds... you can see off in the distance that something is coming. You're not quite sure what it is, but as you've approached this this temple, there's like a dust storm coming. Maybe some kind of creature of large size, big enough to collect dust or create like a dust cloud or whatever. Is you can see it off in the distance, and it seems to be coming in your general direction. And then we're going to go to Birdie. What are you going to do?
We should definitely get into the temple then to get some shelter.
Okay,
because it does have a roof, I would assume.
Yep. In your turn, you could move basically like the length of the banana, because we're going to be in mere minutes. So you can basically move there, or you could do a double and dash and make your way inside the temple if you wanted to. But you get the gist of how ICRPG just simplifies or simply handles movement.
I'll go into the temple.
Cool. Gil, what's it going to be? What are you going to do? You see this cloud off in the distance making its way towards you.
There's a cloud coming. There's assumed danger, imminent danger inside the temple, because that's just an assumption. That much punani can't come for free. So head towards the temple, because can't let the monkey be braver than me. So,
I mean, it already showed you up by starting out the whole porno scene.
And just as you crest the entrance to the temple, you can see in the back that there are these long tendrils that are sort of writhing around in the back. And in the darkness, you can make out that there's some kind of gigantic pit, almost like the Star Wars Sarlacc pit in the back of this room. You can't hear anything coming. Everything is relatively quiet, and it's almost as if there's like these gigantic snakes that are sort of slithering around in the back. But as you crest the steps, that cloud storm gets closer and closer, and it approaches the temple. And just as you crest the steps, you notice that it is like a gang of spoogelings that you previously scared off, but they don't seem to be coming or want to get too close to this temple. How do you like that for a threat monitor? So that was, if you were to stay outside, you would have to resolve that threat. Birdie, what are you going to do? Your tricorder is telling you that the crystal meth is coming or seems to be located in the back of this temple.
It always makes sense, Sometimes you got to put your dick in something to get that meth.
Oh, shit.
Right, so I believe we're going to go ahead and pull out the banana gun that has failed me before. Let's hope that someone has not done another trick banana split in there.
Coolness. All right, which one of these things are you going to target? I take it you're going to just take a pop shot at one of these guys?
I think that one will work.
Excellent. Okay, so you pull out your banana gun, you target this long, slithery rope that's in the back here, a bit bigger, so that it looks a little bit more imposing. And go ahead and make me, so the target number for these things is going to be a 10 as well, because they're unarmored, like fleshy nubules. They're not clad in any kind of an armor, so you're going to have to beat a 10 to hit them. I might actually be doing that wrong, but I'm not sure. So that's a 3 plus your dexterity modifier. That's how your dex comes into play. So it's actually a 5 is what that is. Okay, so your banana gun, luckily this time it fires. It shoots wide at the last second. This slimy tentacle kind of like moves or jimmies just a little bit out of the way as your banana goes railing into the back of this wall in the back darkness of the cavern, and you can hear this gigantic as it hits the wall and sticks. And then Gil, you see that happening.
All right. Well, I kick on my force shield module and move forward. Gonna go get that meth.
Okay. I'm going to roll this conflict or this threat timer, and I'm going to say that...
How far can I get? The banana, where the banana is.
Just guess.
Right about there?
Sure.
Okay.
Looks good to me, man. Did you just flick the banana?
I did.
Yeah, pretty cool, eh? You can like flick shit across the map with your flick deal. Depending on how hard you pull on it, you can shoot it across the map. That's pretty neat.
It's like many different bananas when you pull on it too hard.
Okay, so you're gonna make it up to about there, Gil? Or you're gonna make an action or an attempt to try and do something with these guys?
Well, since I'm only a hand-to-hand combatant, if none of these tentacles are attempting to grab me, I can't really hit them.
Oh,
But I'm kind of standing here as a shield to protect Birdie.
okay, cool. So that's going to be your deal there. So then it's going to come around to my turn. So I'm going to actually rotate this value down to 2, nice and simple. And as you approach this center gate, you see these things start to writhe, and they can almost like some kind of sensory perception thing that they have that you're unaware of. They all start to writhe in your general direction. Time for me to get out my dice. And I'm going to put them in my cannon. We're going to squeeze the trigger, and let's see if any one of these can actually hit the mark. So what is your armor rating on Gil? Gil's got an armor of 12?
Yes, sir.
Every one of these things misses. Out from the darkness, these things, you can see them now plain as day because there's a little bit of sunlight leaking in from the front of the temple, and it casts these rays through the dust and stuff, and you're just sort of a silhouette from these things. But each one of these you can tell is a little bit different, and it actually, I don't know if you noticed, but can you tell what they are? And if you can, tell me what they are.
No.
Okay. Does that look like something?
Yes. Okay. All right, Gary.
It looks like some Polaroids I used to like keep in my pocket, so that way whenever homeless people ask me for change, I'd be like, "No, I don't have any, but here's a Polaroid of my balls."
So how I made these things was I did a Google search for like massive labia. Just basically did a big pussy lip. And that's what they are. So these things all kind of so awesome and so dumb at the same time. Such a fucking idiotic game. These tentacles are lashing out through the darkness, but for whatever reason, they just can't find purchase. None of them seems to be able to reach out and grab onto you. They come up and they might slap you a little bit here or there, or maybe push and nudge, but none of them can actually. You just dance around them, Gil. You're like the fucking dancing porno madman of the century.
None of them can tickle his prostate, is what you're saying.
That's right. So I moved that conflict resolution down already, which puts us back to Birdie's turn. So you see these things reaching out, and they're trying to grasp onto Gil, and Gil is just like sort of sidestepping rather quickly. Birdie, what are you going to do?
Move up about a banana away.
Cool.
And get myself a shot on that one.
So again, target of 10. 13 is going to be a hit. Roll some weapon damage. We went and said that the banana gun was based off of a specific kind of a weapon, did we not?
Yep. I think it was the blaster or something.
Blast rifle. Standard, caseless, mag-fed, 20 capacity, military, bulky, powerful. You hit this thing for 4 points of damage. Banana just pounds into this giant, fleshy, snake-like, lippy-looking tendril, and it squeals a little bit, and you can see that whatever you did there did some damage to that thing. Now that we've resolved that, we're going to go to Gil. What's it going to be, Gil?
I grab that first tentacle right in front of me and just take a big old bite out of it.
All right. So you got to roll your d20 plus your strength bonus, and that's
that's going to be a 17, and I went ahead and rolled damage with, so that's going to be 3.
Okay, so 3 points of chomp damage into this first guy. Same deal, man. This thing, your teeth sink into this thing, and you get like this sort of mouthful of musty smell, and it's almost like you're chewing into some like super soft bubble gum, and it's very stretchy and tenuous. I don't know if tenuous is even the right word, but yeah, it's got that. It's got that. You feel like you just bit into a great big old piece of bubble gum.
It's like eating calamari.
It's
even got that fishy smell.
That's right. I know what is going to happen here. 4 limb attacks. I'm going to do 2 and 2. The one that you bit into right here in front.
I ignore 3 of that because of my force shield.
Cool. So cool. Your force shield kicks in, lights up around it as this thing just sort of tries to pound you into this wall. And your shield kicks in and absorbs most of that blow. The last 2, which is a 3 and a 14, are going to be on Birdie. One of these tendrils, the one that you attack, this one here, It sort of protrudes itself. Now, even though it's only like a single icon on the map, you have to imagine that it's like a long snake-like thing, and this might be like the tip of it or the head of it has come out here, and it's kind of like same thing. It's just it's trying to wrap itself around you, and it's trying to like power smash you into one of the walls, and it catches you a little bit and crushes you into the wall, and so you're going to take. Ooh, you too also take 4 damage, and I rotated the timer. So now we go back to, at the end of this round, when it comes around to my turn, something devastating is going to happen. I love this mechanic because I'm just making shit up right off the top of my head. Birdie's just been smashed into this wall. You're being pushed around.
Now that thing is right in range, so I'm gonna grab my my dual bananas and stab my bananas right into its labianus.
All right. You're going to labiate this thing. Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, you're rattled. This thing has smashed you into the wall. You don't really quite have your wits around it. You do manage to pull out your banana sledgehammer or your dual banana nunchucks, whatever it is that you're using for your weapon. And
Paired bananas like daggers.
Cool. Okay, but this thing it's pinned you up against the wall, and it's kind of rattled you a little bit. It's kind of give you the shaking your helmet, and you're a little stunned, and you can't seem to find purchase with your banana daggers. Gil,
give me Green Witch flashback.
All right. Yep. Keep biting on the one I got a hold of.
If it had lungs, it would squeal, but you can hear from the back of the cavern that something is making this weird kind of a squealing noise. You hear this crazy kind of like compressed air noise that shoots out of the back of the cavern.
Wait, I think I might have this.
It's either that or...
So yeah, you get the gist of the noise that it's making out of the back room there. Oh.
It rhymes with beef and begins with a Q.
Absolutely. Yep. As that
noise, beaver belches.
As that noise erupts from the back of the room, because our conflict timer is now down to a 1. These gigantic lip-looking spread-out things, they come together in this gigantic clasp, and this percussion wave shoots through the temple. So you're both going to take 1 point each of percussion noise as this shoots through the temple.
Holy crap, it's a dread Kegel attack.
That's right. We're going to roll this again, and in 4 more rounds, it will happen again.
Beware the Kegel waves.
So tentacles are attacking 2 on Gil and 2 on Birdie. And I'm going to go front 2, back 2. 17, 17, 12, and a 1.
So those 17s hit me.
Yep. So just your standard damage is going to be this D4. We're just going to throw that across the table. So you take 3 points from the first one. And
nothing.
1 point from the second one, which is nothing and nothing. Oh, man, that's so cool, dude. Now I don't feel bad about hitting you, if you know what I mean.
I'm a tank.
And
that's why I chose that piece of equipment that's the piece of equipment that comes standard for tanks.
Yeah, that's very cool. And Birdie, you're going to take 1 point of damage. But after the big compression wave and this thing tries to shoot itself out, as it comes out, it hits part of the wall, and a big chunk of rock falls down on top of it and pins it to the ground, and it just kind of deflates. And we're back to Birdie's turn.
Shoot him, Birdie! Shoot him!
Kind of got one right on me.
Well, get it! Shoot it!
Banana.
Oh, my God! Critical fail. So the rotation conflict timer or whatever it's called has gone down 1 immediately, and you drop both of your weapons onto the ground. Next turn, however, if you make a dexterity check, a successful dexterity check, you will be able to reach down and pick them up and attack on a successful dexterity check. If not, you're going to spend the entire next round picking them up off the ground. Gil.
Yep. All right, so I see Birdie drops his bananas, and I'm like, oh, I got you, little buddy! And I grab the one right next to him, and I just bite that one.
You sink your teeth into that bad boy. Now,
I'm positioning my big body in front of Birdie, so...
Two behind you are going to attack you, and the one that you just chomped into is still fixated on Birdie. Birdie gets slammed around in the front of the hallway there for 2 points of damage and a 1. So no damage from the other two as they sort of just wrap around. Your shield is just kicking in left, right, and center, blocking all of these things. And we go back to Birdie. Okay, Birdie, make me a successful dexterity check on the target number of this map is 12. This is a difficult situation that you have found yourself in. Every roll I really like this idea that every roll is 12. Like, I don't have to tell you what the difficulty is. That's a 20. You rolled a 20.
Finally, to pick up my bananas.
And uppercut the cunt.
Here, bro.
Can I come in with, like, raking my bananas through its ladiness?
Because you rolled a natural 20 on your dexterity ability, I'm going to give you what's called a heroic coin. That allows you to roll ultimate effort on any roll that you choose, and it's going to be symbolized by this beer that I have placed in front of you.
So that's our saving throw. I mean, our Benny.
Kind of, yes. It's your either or. It's your re-roll, your deal. So you pick up both of these daggers. Now that roll it's all that was for. I don't know, man, you reach down with your foot because you do have the opposing foot thumbs. Maybe that's how you get them, right? But somehow you manage to grab these two daggers, you prop them up into your hands, and it's go time. You're going to make your attack like normal. Beautiful. Well done, my friend.
All right. That's what we'll do. We'll go for our regular attack. We'll hold our extra effort for real dire straight. Come on, 20 again, please.
14.
14 will work.
3 points of damage. Okay, so that is going to eliminate this lip. This gigantic labia-looking snake tendril just falls to the ground, and from the back of the cave, you hear that noise, but this time it's not followed by that percussion, but you definitely hear that noise again from the back of the cave. Gil, you're up, buddy.
We're gonna move back over here, protecting Birdie.
Okay, all right, so you just move up there and make a random chomp into the darkness. The queef noise or whatever just puts this gigantic smile on your face. And because you're laughing so hard at the queef noise that happened in the background, you don't have the actual strength to bite down or open your maw because you're just like, ha ha ha. And
that's a funny noise.
Rotation value 1, my turn. You're going to take both of these attacks, Gil. Oh, I think they were higher than that. A 15 and a 10. 2 misses, man. Your shield's kicking in and saving your ass left, right, and center.
And my armored coveralls.
Yeah, it's top notch, man. I'm unable to do any damage. I've rotated the conflict value when it comes around to my turn. There's going to be this queef blast again, just to give you guys a heads up, and it's Birdie's turn.
All right. I holster my dual bananas, pull out my gun, and can I get you know what? Let's go ahead and fire at one of these.
Aim for the clitoris! Aim for the clitoris!
That's a myth. It doesn't exist.
It's right there! I can see it!
You're hallucinating.
That made noise as it moved. That was great.
I was trying to get it to go up in the air a little bit. Oh, sorry, buddy. Bliss, what happened there? Did you hit it? Did you do some damage?
I just rolled, so we'll find out. 14?
14. That's going to be enough to hit this thing. All right, direct shot. So your banana goes right in the hole, I guess. That's where it goes. You can almost hear from the depths of this thing. You can kind of hear this. Why are you trying to prolong my life? As this call comes from inside the pit, and you're shooting food into it. A banana, thank you very much. Gil?
Damn it. Everyone needs potassium. All right, and that's my turn.
Gil, are you muted, stupid?
Nope. I just didn't hear you say anything.
Sorry, yeah, you're up, buddy. Birdie shot the Anagab.
Biting the next one in front of me.
Not with that roll, you're not, mister.
No, I'm not.
Okay, so
4.
Back around to my turn. We're going to grab these dice and we're going to solidify this right out of the gate. Fire away. See if I can manage to get some damage on. There's a 3 and a 19.
That 19 will hit.
Not for 1 point of damage. These little tendrils are just kind of bitch slapping you. They're almost like these tendrils are kind of like lazy for some reason. Like they're not really that interested in chewing you up. Maybe because this Anagav just is feeding on the remains of all of the men from the village or something.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't like shark.
go ahead and make a dexterity check against the rumbling queef noise. The entire cavern walls start to rumble and shake. The floor lets loose beneath you a little bit, and again you just hear this as the cavern explodes. 1 for Gil, 4 for Birdie.
Got it.
Coolness. Okay, so that puts me back to randomly rolling 3. Birdie, you've just sustained a serious percussive blast of musty smelling wind.
Oh wait, and you know it's
like
like
that
that
one.
slight taint of like sweet banana smell, right?
It does, and
A
rot.
banana tuna sandwich.
There's a touch of rot in there too because there's rotten stuff in there. But what are you doing, Birdie?
All right.
What's happening?
We're gonna repeat it. You know what? I think we'll spend our beer because this is getting ridiculous. I put it into your game master zone to show I've spent my beer.
Cool. Okay, so that's going to allow you to roll your and add a 12 to any roll that you make. So you're going to add it to your attack or your damage. Yeah, that's the question, right? And add a 12, a D12 to any roll. Which one are you going to do?
If I don't hit, then I don't do damage. Or does it? Do I do a 12 because it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn.
Will our daring adventurers use their heroic token for an attack or damage modifier? Tune in next week and find out in the exciting conclusion of the Temple of the Anagav.
The Murder Hobo Show is not affiliated with or endorsed by any companies mentioned on this show. Any of the products mentioned on our show or appear on our website are the property and copyright of their respected owners. All items are used under fair use and educational and review purposes. All other items are the intellectual property of the Murder Hobo Show, copyright 2017, all rights reserved.